at Merchants and Planters Bank, and it's not very often. As a matter of fact, I can't remember down through the years, and we've been doing this program a long time, that we got to visit with Mr. Jim Gowan. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, David.
Mr. Gowan, you've been at Merchants and Planters Bank since 1983, they say.
That's correct. That's a lifetime almost.
That is a lifetime, isn't it? First of
lifetime.
all, we're here to let everybody know that if you're watching prior to December the 10th, there's going to be, right here in the lobby at Merchants and Planters Bank, a little kind of a get-together to honor Mr. Gowan for his award that he has just been bestowed upon him, and it's a big, big award. And the award is from the Independent Community Bankers Association of America, Central Region, as the #1 banker, community banker. Sir, congratulations on your award.
David, thank you very much. I'm very, very honored and shocked when I received the reward. I was just so happened to be over at the house, and my son, Jim Jr.,
Sure.
called me and said, "Dad, I need you to come over and let's talk to you about something." So I came over, and there in the lobby stood all of my employees that were here.
Wow.
with postcards that said, "Congratulations on being named community banker of the Central Region." And I was just totally shocked.
Yes.
I mean, usually, especially around my employees, David, I'm not bashful. I mean, I can talk, but I could not say a word.
Is that right?
I was shocked because here's the reason. I was not even aware that I'd been nominated.
Right.
My employees, and I think it started with Terry Dillon. Terry Dillon came over and talked to Tara Salinas, our marketing director, and Tara took it from there, and they, unbeknownst to me, submitted all this information to the Independent Community Bankers of America, and I was selected. So
Absolutely.
I mean, it is quite an honor when your employees do it for you.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
I know it is a big, big honor, and those folks that I've talked to, prior to us doing this interview, say it is a huge honor, and it's not only a reflection on Merchants Planters Bank, but it's you from a personal standpoint, our community also.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about Community Bank, Jim. We in Newport, Arkansas are so fortunate that we have what we call a community bank. Kind of explain what community bank is and how that works in relation to the others.
The others. And that's a good question. And the question, I would answer the question by saying that if you look all over the nation, a community bank truly is the lifeblood of that community, especially in rural areas. And that's not only in rural areas, because we have community banks that are in large cities and so forth, but they have such a desire and caring for their community. That's what makes a community bank. And we've been so fortunate to remain a community bank. And I'm going to tell you right now, our plans right now, and I'll say it to the world, is to remain a independent community bank. We plan to stay independent.
Well, independent, locally owned, locally operated, local decisions right here. When you walk in the door, you see people that you've seen for years here, and of course, we'll hire people as people retire. We hire new people, but the most amazing thing to me is that when you walk in the bank, I know everybody. My bank, I know everybody here.
Absolutely.
I know when I ask to borrow a few $100s, I know that somebody at this bank's going to tell me whether or not I'm credit worthy enough to get that, or I know this a long time ago. Joe Miles, when Joe Miles was working here, took a chance on me, and I blame Joe all the time for the financial situation that I'm in today for lending me my first money. But I want to ask you this. In the article, there's a great article on independentbankers.org, talks about this award, and it talks about Mr. Jim Gowan. One of the terms that some of the people have described you as is humanly simple. What do you think that means?
And I think that's a perfect description of myself. I have always been one to try to push others more so than myself. I do, and I'm very involved, David, as you know. I'm very involved in the community, have been since day one. But I think that it is important to get more and more people involved in the community to do things, to learn about our community. The more people you get involved, the more things that are going to get done.
Sure.
And so that's been my philosophy down through the years, is to get more people involved. One of the things that I truly believe in is this New Vision class that the chamber has.
Sure.
And they've graduated a lot of people, and we've got a lot of those people that have been through that class that are now doing things in our community.
Absolutely.
And we're kind of I think we're the talk of the state about things that we do. We get calls all the time about, not necessarily to me, but
Sure.
to others about, well, how do y'all get things done? How do y'all get these things done? And it's tough to build an economic base. It's very tough to get new industry in and things. But we do have new industries. We've got new businesses that have come to town, and that's all didn't just happen.
Right.
That happened because people worked at it. And
well, we visit with John Chadwell from NEDC on a monthly basis and talk about what's going on in the community. And one of the things that we always talk about, Jim, is that people are just really not informed, because if they say that there's not much going on here, they're really not looking, because there's lots of things. Talk about the revitalization, the downtown revitalization project.
Well, that's a wonderful thing. There's a group called DRIVE, which is Downtown Revitalization Improvement Effort.
Okay.
And that group originally was appointed by the mayor to try to see what can we do about downtown. And eventually we saw that for us to be able to get any grants or anything like that, we were going to have to become a 501c3 organization. So we did. And so we are now, and we just recently, and we're right in the middle of it right now, of a project putting in some new sidewalks, putting up some lighting downtown that's going to make the downtown look nice. And some people might complain a little bit, well, they didn't need that.
Right.
Well, first of all, the biggest portion of the money came from a grant.
Absolutely.
And that grant would not have been available to put somewhere else.
Right.
It was for
That's what it's for.
It was for downtowns. Excuse me. But the effort is just it's ongoing. The area over here where the fountain is, that's such an improvement to downtown. And we hope to eventually maybe, because those buildings, we tried our best, DRIVE, and we just didn't have the money. We tried to save those buildings down there. And they're just gone. There's no saving them. And none of us wanted to have to take those buildings down. But we are going to have to.
Right.
We're going to have to take them down because they're a danger to health.
Sure.
People. And so we plan, we're working on trying to build an amphitheater there, which will allow the community to have events downtown. They'll have a stage to have things on. Depot Days will be able to use it. Other groups. We even think that Easter Sunday sunrise services can be held there. And John Chadwell and I too both have talked to various groups. ASU Newport is interested in possibly having, in the months that the weather's good, an outdoor movie once a week or once a month or something. So there's just a lot of things going on there.
You got to have a vision. You got to have a group that's got a vision. People can complain if they want to complain, and I think generally speaking, I think people don't generally complain, but I think when you get enough information out there and then you go, oh, well, I see that now. I think it's a great project for our community, and I know you work hard on that, as do other people and those people on that community. Changing the subject here real quickly before we get away, shot glasses. State shot glasses.
Right.
I don't know of anybody in the world that has a shot glass from every state in the United States of America. But I know Jim Gowan's got a collection. Tell us about the collection.
Thank you, David. I'm proud of the collection.
Yes.
Several years ago, my wife and I have been very fortunate to get to travel to different things, and especially a lot of things that we traveled to was involving Independent Community Bankers of America also. But because I have served that organization down through the years in several capacities. And one of the things that I started thinking about, I'd like to have something from every state, and I have to purchase it. I had to myself physically go purchase that. I had to go to that state. Friends didn't send me any of these.
Right.
A lot of them offered to.
Right.
I've got friends in lots of states.
Sure.
And I'm not bragging that.
No,
I've got
absolutely.
lots of friends. But I am saying that they offered to give me one of their states. And I said, no, I have to come to your state and buy it. And so I have a shot glass now from every state. Plus, I have some extra ones that are not just state, but from some foreign countries. I have some, and I include in this one, there's actually 51 in there, which is Washington, D.C.
D.C.,
now,
yes, sir.
I'm particularly not fond of the thought of Washington, D.C. becoming a state now. but I think...
We want to give them a little credit here, don't we?
Yeah, that's
Let them be a part of the collection.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
but anyway, I do have, and they're not from a city within the state.
Right.
They're actually from the state itself, like state of Arkansas.
Right.
It's a state of Arkansas. And a lot of the states have maybe their bird on there, their state bird, or their, whatever
the emblem may be, yeah.
different things. But it's something that I'm proud of,
I bet.
And I never knew if I'd ever get to Hawaii and Alaska was one of my last ones. It wasn't the very last one, but it was one of the last ones that I got. But the last 4 states that I got them this year in 2014. Excuse me, I was on my way to Alaska, and so I told Nita, my wife, I said, let's fly in a few days early into South Dakota, and let's visit around, go to Mount Rushmore, and go around to some of the places there. So we went to South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, and Wyoming.
Yes,
we
sir.
covered 4 states, and that was my last 4.
Well, they're all right there together. You didn't have to go very far, did you? No, sir.
I just made a circle around them, but we saw a lot of things we'd never seen. We went to Yellowstone, saw Old Faithful, and Mount Rushmore, and saw a lot of activity going on up there in oil wells and natural gas wells that are going up in that part of the world too. But it's interesting to learn about the states.
Of course, Ben has shown you some of that collection right there, and I just want to end this thing, Mr. Gowan, by saying congratulations on your award. You are very deserving. I think sometimes, and you even mentioned earlier in the interview that you don't look to be, you don't need a pat on the back.
No.
You look to give that to those other people. But let me say this. I think you are instrumental in where we are today in Newport, Arkansas. And it's been a tough fight. It's been a tough fight, but it's because of guys like you that we're still here, that we've still got jobs, that we've still got training programs, that we've got a college. I mean, there's just lots of things that we have here, and as a direct result of people like Jim Gowan who are willing to step to the board and say, guys, I'm willing to serve.
David, thank you so much, and I appreciate you talking to me.
Mr. Jim Gowan, who is the man at Merchants and Planters Bank.